Hey.
Hey, what's up?
So, you know how you're always asking me to give you suggestions for your videos?
Sure.
Well, maybe tone it down a little bit with the Italian horror. It's a little redundant.
Okay, fair enough. Good advice.
You're welcome.
God, getting into this fucking theater. Has anyone ever seen Umberto Lenzi's Ghosthouse?
Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome back to 7th Street. I guess I missed that part. Umberto Lenzi. He's an Italian director that we've talked about on this show a little bit before. He's not the most popular in the genre, but he did contribute some of the more well-known Italian horror flicks from the 70s and 80s. Movies like Cannibal Ferox, Man from Deep River, and Nightmare City. You know, the movie that introduced Hugo Stiglitz to the world. Like I said in my Nightmare City review, Lenzi sort of reminds me of a Michael Bay type director, whereas you're not drawn to his movies because they're particularly well acted or beautifully written. You're drawn to them because they're colorful, fun, fast-paced, and campy. A movie that perfectly embodies this is the 1988 spookfest Ghosthouse.
This is actually one of the more recent Umberto Lenzi films that I've actually seen, just because it was really hard to get in the United States for a number of years. To my knowledge, I don't think that it was ever released on DVD or VHS here. That is until Scream Factory released a Blu-ray, and you know that was on top of my Christmas list that year.
Ghosthouse begins with, what else? A house with some ghosts in it. More specifically, a creepy little girl and her terrifying clown doll that seems to admit this haunting little theme. It's hard to grasp what's going on in this scene, but to be fair, it's hard to grasp what's going on in most of the scenes in this movie. The little girl and her creepy doll have been locked in the basement by her abusive parents because they think she's evil, I guess. After returning upstairs, the parents are then attacked and killed giallo style by some unknown killer. I don't think that this is supposed to be the little girl. I guess it could be the creepy clown doll. But something tells me that Umberto didn't even know who this was supposed to be. I guess we just have to accept the fact that the house is haunted, and it was just something that the house manifested.
It's all just one big horrible mess.
Cut to Boston, 20 years later, and we meet our hero of the film, Paul, and his super European girlfriend.
Would you climb off your high horse? You know something? I've had enough. Goodbye.
Paul is an interesting character. He's dressed like a Rent-A-Center Marty McFly and spends most of his days dicking around with a ham radio.
Yeah, I copy, John. Hey, did you find out who's more popular in Denver, Kim Basinger or Kelly LeBrock?
It's neck and neck. Hey, why don't you ask your computer, man?
Ugh. What? Is that what this guy does for a living? Chats with other ham radio enthusiasts on which hot girls people prefer from state to state?
The dialogue in this movie is awful. Some of the weirdest lines that I've ever heard.
Even for Italian horror movie standards.
Pair this with the awful acting.
Somebody help me! Help! Help!
And you have all the ingredients for a Troll 2 style film. Anyway, one day Paul intercepts some strange broadcasts with the same creepy doll theme that we heard earlier in the movie, and like a moron, he decides to track down the source of the broadcast using his super high-tech computer.
All I know are computers. Computers.
Along the way, our two heroes run into a colorful cast of bad actors delivering ridiculous dialogue.
You should believe in ghosts, P-Brain.
Every single actor in this movie, for some reason, decided to play their character as absolutely whiny and annoying as possible.
Skeleton arm, are you deaf? Oh, come on, Tina, give me a break. He did, and I saw it. You never believe anything I say. That's
Will you guys just cut it out? Oh, yeah? It's mine.
Okay, but what proof have you got? Your stupid sister's story about seeing some ghost of a kid dressed in white?
What about the message Paul picked up on his radio?
The minister was on a streetcar when he suddenly had the vision. Are you getting stupid or something?
Oh, look who's talking. Did you learn all that while I was washing my hair?
For Christ's sake, will you cut it out? We got enough trouble as is around here.
That is, with the exception of this guy, who's the most unnecessary character in the movie, but I guess he's supposed to be the comedic relief or something. I'm not really sure.
My name is Pepe. I'm just looking for a place to spend the night. Froze my buns off last night. You in the camp over there?
Forget it, we're leaving.
Okay. Here, want some?
The middle 40 minutes of this movie is just absolutely fantastic. It's just a bunch of spooky ghost nonsense that really doesn't mean anything. Things like ghost dogs absorbing lamps, and clown dolls giving aggressive hugs, and most importantly, the house being like, "Fuck your toys, bitch. Fuck your camper, bitch." This movie is really hard to keep up with sometimes. I didn't even get into the killer groundskeeper, or the weird Grim Reaper monster, or the fact that the sometimes diegetic, sometimes non-diegetic doll theme is actually the word burial, spoken 3 times and then played backwards.
Which I must say is a lot less cool than I initially thought. Seriously, the first time I saw this movie with my girlfriend, we both thought that the clown doll recording was saying, "Are you up? Are you there? Are you dead?"
This is an unbelievably goofy movie, and it feels quite a bit different from the usual Lenzi film. The story is confusing, the dialogue is mind-boggling, and the actors are flat out bad. Like, really bad. Like, really, really bad.
Idiots! You're all against me. I hate you. I hate you all! I hate you!
But you know what? I can deal with all of that. In fact, that's what I love about this movie. I actually find it charming. But you know what I don't find charming? The way that this motherfucker says jalapeno.
Get me some too, will you?
Okay.
Extra jalapenos.
I will not stand for that!
Ghosthouse ends up being one of my favorites for the same reason that Troll 2 ends up being one of my favorites. It's all in good fun, and it's a hoot to watch with friends. Look, Umberto Lenzi ain't no scrub. The movie looks really good with his typical slick camera work. The setting is really visually appealing. In fact, it's actually the same house that was used in Lucio Fulci's The House by the Cemetery.
Drive-in totals include Clown Foo, Grim Reaper Foo, Ghost Dog Foo, and Spinning Fan Blade of Death Foo. 4 stars, check it out, and reference this film.
Son of a bitch! He stole $5 off me with that stupid trick.